So, I just wanted to record this video here because I am sitting at DJ's brew house reading a really cool book about tea. And I came from a very physically uncomfortable kind of like scenario. Something took place a few hours ago. What seems like a whole day ago now. But yeah, it was very just physically draining, physically painful and uncomfortable, and my life felt threatened. So I'll just go ahead and go into detail now about what took place. I had just left a very cool interview. It was kind of like an event where some investors were talking to a large group of people, and I was there, and so I got the job, so that's pretty cool. But anyways, I left and I took to a coffee shop so that I could collect my thoughts and just kind of center myself in a coffee shop, like I like to do, like I be doing. I try to visit one coffee shop a day. So I went to this one that was nearby Bee Caves where I'll be working, and it's called Trianon Coffee. Well, I get there and I have my book and I'm getting ready to start reading, and I open the book and I start looking at it, and some lady is on her way out, and she overheard me talking about how I had sprained my wrist, and she thought I broke it, and she commented on it, and I told her that it was because I had punched something. Because I've been wearing the brace still because I'm hard-headed and have been exercising with my wrist not fully healed. So I've been wearing a brace probably longer than one would need to wear a brace for a sprained wrist. Well, after that woman walks out, I notice an older man who I had sat next to. I kind of noticed him when I sat next to him. There was a table in between us, so I'm not sitting right next to him. But anyways, he kind of gets my attention, and he's like, well, how are you punching? He's like, he just opens up the conversation, and I told him I I punch like this with my hand like that. And so he's like, okay, and then we start talking. Well, this conversation ends up taking 3 hours. I end up sitting down for about 2 hours, and then sat up to talk to him for another 30 minutes. So we were talking for 2.5 hours, and I'm literally just sedentary the entire time. And so I would say by about 45 minutes, my body was already starting to feel a little bit weird. Because mind you, I'm used to being very physically active. I'm used to being on the go. Even if I'm driving in my car, I'm exerting energy. So I'm constantly on the move and exercising and getting sunlight. Well, this was not that situation at all. So I don't know what it was about the man, but he was super knowledgeable on things that I wanted to know about. Very knowledgeable, and he was giving me the time of day, which I don't see a lot of people really doing like that. It's like they'll give you a good 2 minutes, and then they're off to doing whatever it is that they're doing. And so, his eye contact was great as well. And so I just, I took an interest in it, and I ignored my physical pain that I was feeling. I was literally feeling pain all throughout my body while sitting and talking to this man. My spine was hurting, my head was starting to hurt. I'm rubbing my temples while still listening to him, and he's continuously talking. He does not stop talking once the entire time. He might stop for a good 5 seconds. He might have stopped for a good 5 seconds in those roughly 3 hours that we spoke. And he's even showing me some cool Russian way of fighting that I'm like, yes, this is giving me so much passion right now. But oh my gosh, I leave the coffee shop and I walk out feeling a mess, just feeling so physically drained and out of it. that I get in my car and I start saying the open prayer that I've been saying, even though I had already said it this morning. I was like, 2 times the charm. I told myself that. Well, the pain does not subside at all. The discomfort does not subside. So I get out of my car and I just kind of throw my body onto the floor. And the floor is filthy. It's a road. It's a driveway, like what you call it, it's a parking lot. And so it's a filthy parking lot, concrete little thing where I'm laying my whole body face down. Oh my gosh. I did not care how dirty it was because I just felt a mess. I felt awful. I felt horrible. I felt like I could have a heart attack, honestly. And so I start like just crying and breaking down. And a couple people come and then they stop by and they're like, "Are you okay? Do you need anything?" And I'm like, "I'm okay. I don't need anything." The first guy who checks on me, I'm honest with him and I'm like, I don't know if I'm okay. I hope I'm okay. And like, "Do you need anything? Is there anything I can get for you? Like, do you need some water?" And I was like, "I have water in my car." And I'm just like on the floor, just like talking. I'm very weak, very physically weak. And so eventually they call an ambulance. Well, first they call, somebody signals a cop because I'm on the floor breaking down, crying hysterically, trying to move. I end up getting my Bible and my yoga mat from my trunk, and I'm just holding my Bible in my arms as tightly as I can and just like trying to hold on to my faith and just trying to be okay because I don't feel okay at all. Eventually I get, before the cop arrives, I kind of stand up and I'm like trying to feel the strength and the power of the Lord. The same strength, the same power that rose Jesus from the dead dwells in me. And so I'm trying to feel that and I'm trying to believe that. My gosh. I'm like standing up and my whole body is tingling from how heavy I was breathing. And I'm just like, tears all over my face. And I have my fist. I get that back down on the ground and I put my fist on the floor and I'm just like, what is this, God? Like, I'm just talking to him. I'm like, what is this? Like, why? Like, I don't understand. And then I start talking and I start speaking out loud and I'm just like, if I was okay, I'm referring to the people who are just like asking me if I need anything or if I'm okay. I'm like, if I'm okay, like, do I look okay? I'm like, so because I got advice when you're talking to the Lord, don't worry about how emotional you are. He doesn't care how emotional you are. You speak to him however you want to speak to him. So that's what I'm doing. I'm like, why are you asking me if I'm okay? Like, do I look okay? And like, no, I'm not fucking okay. Like, what the hell? Just anger, I'm just angry because I'm like, why are you doing this to me right now? Like, I've done nothing to deserve this. There's a story in the Bible, it's called Job. Job kind of does the same thing in the story. He's kind of like talking down on Jesus and Jesus is not offended. God is not offended by it, And he keeps on, like questioning the Lord and like why he's making Job suffer through all these physical ailments. I kind of feel like Job sometimes, I ain't gonna lie. Because I feel like I've done some pretty good things. And I feel like I've suffered a lot of physical trauma and just random stuff. So that was that. And then, the cop arrives. I'm back on the floor, kind of kneeling, my head down, and just trying to work through it still. And the cop arrives. Eventually, fast forward to like 20 minutes later or so, 30 minutes later, I'm like sitting down on this curb. The cop's like, can I get on the curb for me? Like, there's like 4 cops surrounding me, and like, I think it's like 3 or 4 cops surrounding me, and like 4 firemen. They call some firemen, they call some EMS, some paramedics. I got all these people around me, just like protecting me. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I literally am a king. That I'm gonna be on the floor struggling, and you're calling all these people for me to see if I'm okay, to check my vitals. One of the cops he goes to the store, and he brings back some food. He brings me back some Doritos and some Lunchables. Lunchables was funny. Lunchables was funny. I'm like, guys, you got humor. He does have humor. Cause I'm over here talking about to the cops and the paramedics about how I'm like I'm a kid, like, you know, I just want my mom. That's what I told them. They're like, do you need anything? Like, what is there anything you need? Do you want us to take you to the emergency room? Because I told them about my previous emergency room visit for my chest pain, and I was like, no, I don't need to go to the emergency room. And so I'm like, I just want my mom.
But I don't know what they look like.
And so eventually, you know, all the people, they left, and so it's just like 2 cops left. The first 2 people who like showed up were the last people to leave and say goodbye. That in retrospect was pretty cool as well. Really felt like I had some guardian angel around me in that moment. I'm sure of it. Because after everybody left and I sat down and I was eating these Doritos, which I had been craving Doritos for the longest time. I'm seeing people eat Doritos all the time. My friends, you know, just like it's nothing. Like, they're just like eating these Doritos, and I'm just like, let me not. But they give me these Doritos, they give me some Cool Ranch, they give me some nacho cheese, and I'm just smacking these Doritos like it's a salad. Because my blood sugar was low, and so I needed something. So I'm eating them, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. These Doritos was giving me life. After everybody was gone and I'm getting ready to head to my mom's to go and you know, rest, I just have the Bible in my hand. I put all my stuff back in my car, get my car situated. I got the Bible in my hand, and I'm just shouting with joy, because I feel like God got me. So I'm shouting with joy and I'm praising the Lord, because yet again He has saved me. You know, because you don't know what these kind of situations are going to come to. You really don't. When you're in these moments and you're feeling all this pain and this agony, you really don't know what's going to happen. And so to be able to stand up and drive my car away and drive myself to shelter, man, I was shouting to the Lord in joy and gratitude. Yeah, that's my little short story of what I just went through, and now I'm here at BJ's. I've been here for about 2 hours, and I enjoyed me a nice little cookies and cream free Pizookie, if they do that here. I'm gonna take it to go because something told me to stop eating it. I think it was this book I was reading about herbal medicine. So yeah, that's about that. Waiter here was super chill. It was so cool. His name's Peyton. He's from Houston. And he was chopping it up with me about herbal medicine. Super chill. It's been a great day. It really has. But thank you for watching, and have a great day as well.